What if the people you trust most, the ones you call your friends, are the real reason you feel so stuck? You think they've got your back, but they could be the ones quietly sabotaging your ambition year after year. It's not always obvious. In fact, most toxic friendships don't start out that way. They usually begin with tons of laughter and a real connection, but then slowly things start to shift. You leave hangouts feeling drained, a little smaller, and a lot less sure of your own path. This isn't about some dramatic betrayal you'd see in a movie. It's about something way more subtle and, honestly, more dangerous. The kind of friendship that holds you back without you even realizing it. We're about to uncover the 5 types of friends who are secretly killing your dreams. By the end, you'll not only recognize them, but you'll also get why they do it and what it's costing you. Section 1. The victim. First up, the friend we've all had, the victim. This person is in a constant state of crisis. Their life is just a never-ending series of disasters. And shockingly, none of it is ever their fault. They are masters of shifting blame. Their boss is a tyrant. Their landlord is a monster. The universe itself just seems to have it out for them. And because you're a good friend, you listen, you offer advice, you give support. But you quickly realize their need for sympathy is a bottomless pit. The psychology behind this is a powerful idea called learned helplessness. After facing negative situations where they felt powerless over and over, victims have essentially learned to stop trying. They've convinced themselves their actions don't matter, so they completely give up personal responsibility. It's a tragic mindset. As the saying goes, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Victims choose to suffer because it means they don't have to take hard, necessary actions. The real danger for you is that this mindset is incredibly contagious. When you're constantly swimming in their negativity and their story of being powerless, you risk starting to think the same way. Suddenly, you might start seeing your own goals as impossible, just like they do. You eventually realize their time of need isn't temporary. It's how they dodge accountability. Your empathy just becomes fuel for their inaction, and your own ambition starts to die as you get pulled into their world of excuses. Section 2. The gossip. Next, we have the gossip. This friend is always entertaining, right? They've got the latest scoop on everyone, all the secret drama, the whispered failures of people you both know. Conversations are never boring, but what are they really about? Gossips steal your most valuable resources, your time and your mental energy, and point them toward the irrelevant lives of others. And let's be real, if they're gossiping to you, they're definitely gossiping about you. The psychology here is fascinating. Gossiping is a way to form quick, unstable bonds based on a shared judgment of someone else. It creates a cheap sense of intimacy, a little us against them moment. This can become an addictive habit that feels like a real connection, but is actually built on a shaky foundation of distrust. Deep down, you know the loyalty they show you is just as temporary as the loyalty they show the people they talk about. The cost to your dreams is huge. Every hour you spend talking about someone else's bad decisions is an hour you didn't spend planning your own good ones. You get stuck in cycles of drama and distraction. The secrets you share in confidence, they're just the next juicy story. Your focus shifts from building your own future to just trying to survive the social minefield they've created. Section 3. The self-absorbed. The third friend holding you back is the self-absorbed. This is the person who treats every conversation like a one-person show. You share a win, and they immediately jump in with their own much bigger win. You talk about a problem, and they launch into a 10-minute story about their own much worse problem. They don't see people as equals. They see them as an audience, and they can leave you feeling incredibly lonely even in a packed room. The root of this is often narcissism, or at least some strong narcissistic traits. It isn't just vanity, it's a genuine inability to see the world from any perspective but their own. Their constant me focus makes your own needs and feelings feel insignificant. The mutual support that's so vital for success is completely missing here. Worse, you can accidentally start to mimic this behavior over time, making it harder for you to connect with others. Hanging out with them is exhausting because to them you're just a tool. They use you for attention, for validation, or just to have someone to talk at. The second you stop feeding their ego, they're gone. They only call when they need something. This one-sided dynamic teaches you that your needs don't matter, which is a dangerous lesson for anyone trying to build a life they're proud of. You can't grow when you're always stuck in the shadow of someone else's ego. Section 4, the Naysayer. Our fourth friend is one of the most dangerous, the Naysayer, also known as the dream killer. This person is a master at disguising their negativity as just being realistic. You come to them buzzing with a new idea, a business you want to start, a project you're passionate about, a marathon you want to run. Instead of support, they hit you with a million reasons why you'll fail. They'll say they're just trying to protect you from disappointment, but what they're really doing is projecting their own fears onto you. The psychology behind this comes down to their own low self-efficacy, which is just a fancy term for not believing in your own ability to succeed. Because they don't think they can achieve great things, they can't imagine how you could. They've given up on their own potential, and they expect you to do the same. Your failure actually makes them feel better about their own inaction. If you can't do it, then they were right not to even try. Their impact is devastating. They chip away at your confidence and can turn a moment of doubt into a decision to quit. Imagine you finally decide to chase a big goal and a friend you respect just scoffs and tells you it's a foolish idea. That seed of doubt can be enough to kill a dream before it even starts. Naysayers shrink your vision of what's possible because your ambition is a painful mirror to their own. Section 5. The Envious Manipulator. Finally, we have the most complex and sneaky of them all, the envious manipulator. This friend can show up in a couple of ways. Sometimes it's the person who can never ever be genuinely happy for you. They kill your joy with backhanded compliments or by constantly comparing your wins to someone else's. Other times it's the manipulator who uses guilt trips, emotional outbursts, or straight up lies to control you. The psychology of envy is that it's always looking outward, which means it's impossible to ever be satisfied. For the envious person, your win genuinely feels like their loss. They ignore their own blessings because the grass always looks greener over in your yard. That kind of thinking is toxic because it minimizes all your hard work. The manipulator, on the other hand, often uses you as an emotional punching bag, lashing out to keep you on your toes or using guilt to keep you in line. These toxic traits, like arrogance and deception, are ultimately self-defeating and often lead to failure in all parts of life. This friendship leaves you feeling drained, anxious, and constantly second-guessing yourself. You start downplaying your own successes just to avoid triggering their envy. You walk on eggshells to prevent an emotional blow-up. In their eyes, you are either a threat that needs to be neutralized or an emotional resource to be used up. Either way, your dreams are the last thing on their mind. So, you can see the patterns. The big question is, what now? The first step is to do an honest audit of your inner circle. You've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? Well, it's not just a cliche. It's a real psychological thing called social contagion. Hanging around blamers and quitters makes it way more likely that you'll become one too. So take a minute. Grab a piece of paper and write down the 5 people you talk to the most. Now be brutally honest. Do they lift you up, or do you get that sinking feeling when their name pops up on your phone? Do you leave conversations feeling inspired or totally drained? This isn't about calling people bad. It's about recognizing unhealthy dynamics that are holding you back. In conclusion, cutting ties is never easy, but protecting your future and your peace of mind is an act of self-care you can't afford to skip. Moving away from these toxic archetypes isn't about being ruthless. It's about creating the space you need to build confidence, focus, and resilience. As you start to distance yourself from the victims, the gossips, and the naysayers, something amazing will happen. You'll have more energy. You'll feel more optimistic. Your belief in yourself will finally have room to grow again. And remember, the key is the pattern. Everyone has bad days, but is this a consistent, draining dynamic or just a temporary rough patch? The goal is to surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who celebrate your wins like they're their own, and who remind you of your own strength when you forget it. Because the right friends don't kill your dreams. They're a huge part of making them come true.